everyone, this is Severity on IMVU, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a hair texture. I already have my template set up. It's 256 times 256, and I'll just show you that. So that's the size you want to use. And I'm going to just use brown. You can use any shade you want for the tutorial, or for your hair texture. What I like to do is I like to get a darker color of the hair texture. And I basically just make squiggly lines like this. And then I also do a lighter of the color. Now, it's all on the same layer. You're going to want to go to Filter, Noise, Add Noise, and then what you choose is, your personal preference of how you want it. I'm just going to make it like that. You don't want a lot, you just want a little. And then I'm going to blur, motion blur. And then this is completely your choice of how you want to have it. But I'm just going to put it at like and then to make sure it's not very, I don't know what the right word would be for it, too sharp, you want to blur it a little bit. This again is personal preference. You do not have to do this. It's an optional step. Okay. Now you basically got your texture, but it's very flat. There's no shine on it. So you're going to want to make a new layer. Switch to white. And bring your size up a little bit. Oops. And then you're just going to want to make 2 lines. Oops. Okay. Now you can either Gaussian blur or motion blur. I'm going to motion blur. You really don't want too much. And then I'm going to set it from normal to overlay. This effect will not work with certain shades of hair. Like if you have really, really light hair, overlay won't really work. You have to adjust the opacity. Well, you should adjust it anyways, even if you use overlay, because it might be too shiny. Okay, so that looks like a pretty good hair texture. So we're going to test it on a hair now. And then as long as it looks okay, I'm going to also show you how to make tipped hair and streaked hair. And I'm also going to show you how to change the color of it very easily without making a whole new texture. Okay, so that looks okay. It's pretty light. I'm not very fond of that shade, but you get the basic idea of how to make it now. Now, say I wanted tips to the hair, like black tips. I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to select the lasso tool. And now you're just going to make jagged marks like this. And you're going to want to bring it back. And now that whole selection is selected. You want to hit Alt and Delete. Oops, I have it on white. Alt and Delete. And I'm just going to adjust it to the way that I like it. And now this step is also optional. You can do it however you want, but this is how I do it. I do motion blur, and then I just pretty much mess with the settings. And then I also sometimes mess with the opacity. But we're just going to leave it like that so you can see what it does to it. And this will give your hair black tips. See? You can choose any color you want for this method. I'm just doing this for the tutorial. Now, say you want streaks. So you're going to want to make a rectangle layer here, and I'm just going to use this color that was already on the preset. And I'm going to duplicate it. You don't have to make two, but I usually do. And then I'm just merging them down, and then I'm going to go to color for the option, and then I'm going to just decrease the opacity. Probably going to look kind of weird, but I'm just showing you how it looks. Hair is probably the easiest thing that you can start off with when you first start developing. I would suggest it just to get the feel of creating. And now it's streaked. Okay. Now that I showed you streaking and tipping and making the overall texture itself, I'm going to show you how to change the color. Make a new layer and say you want red. So we'll go up to red, select the color you want, Alt-Delete, change normal to color, and now it's red. And if you want to make it darker or lighter, go to Image, Adjustments, Exposure, and you can make it brighter, you can make it darker, and you can also change down here, and it does that. Now I'm also going to show you how you can make black, because a lot of people, this is what they do. They change it to black and to color, and it turns gray. You do the same exact thing that you were going to do that I just showed you. So you go to exposure, and then you change these until you get the black that you want. And yes, you're going to lose detail. If you want a texture that's not going to lose detail, you should make a whole new texture. And you can also make blonde. I'll show you that real quick too. It's going to be different for any texture that you make. You're going to have to just mess around with it. Like this, I'm probably not going to make it perfect. But I'm showing you that it's possible to basically achieve any texture that, or any hair color that you want if you mess around with it enough. But like I said, you will lose detail on some colors that you try. So if you want full detail, then you are definitely going to have to make a new texture. And now it's like a blonde, goldish blonde. Let's test that and see how it came out. It's a bit bright, but maybe you want a bright texture. And there, that's blonde. And of course you can make it lighter or darker or however you want it. But this was just a basic tutorial, so hopefully it helped you. And if you have any tutorials that you want made, you can request it in the comments or message me. Thanks for watching. Bye.